All right, what's good, y'all? It is 9/4. We're getting into this new month. NFP knocked out. Let's see what we got going on coming into this week. All right, so if you haven't checked already, Sports Factory is where we're going to check the news we got coming in, any expected things that are going to happen that's going to change the market, affect things that's happening in different countries, all tracked right here in Forex Factory. So let's get into the 5th. So we can see the 5th at 8:30 to 9:30. We've got some AUD news coming in. Two big red folders for the cash rate and RBA rate statements. So if you are trading any AUD pairs, keep an eye out for that on Monday. USD Tuesday, we have ISM services, final services PMI. So a lot of PMI news come Tuesday. AUD as well has a GDP. So I'm sure we're going to get a big effect on AUD on Tuesday. GBP and CAD Wednesday, monetary policy for GBP. You got the BLC rate statements and overnight rates, and CAD's got PMI. So if you're looking at oil or any GBP pairs, catch Wednesday for another big move. Thursday's got a lot of euro, AUD hitting again, government low speaks. So AUD's got a lot going on this week. Euro's got a lot going on. Fed Chair Powell coming back in Thursday, September 8th. And I'll have Mike come in and break us down what we can expect there. What else we got? That's the 15th, not even in that weekend. So now, I'm primarily looking at USD. So let's see how things are going to set up for this Fed Chair Powell session. We'll also check Fin Screener. Let's see if these guys are expecting some strong sales coming through the week. So this S&P 500, the 7th, 8th, and 9th. We're looking at buys on the 7th and 9th from what companies? Copart and Kroger Company. So take the time to check those out and see what kind of effect they usually have. What days are that? The 7th and the 9th. So Friday and Wednesday, right? So Friday's pretty chill for USD, and then Wednesday I think we have where's that? FOMC, a couple speakers, and then GOV has or AUD has news. So it doesn't really line up with anything big going on with USD. Therefore, I'm not going to expect those companies to cause a lot of movement. If it lined up on a day like Tuesday, or the day Fed Chair Powell in Thursday, right? Yep. So if it lined up on one of those days, I would expect those companies to cause some giant movement. But SPX doesn't have anything for that day. Check out the NASDAQ. All right, so we're looking at sales coming at 8th. So Fed Chair Powell fall in line with that. To be honest with you, it's easiest to put them together. Let's see what companies those are. Zscaler, you can look into that, and DocuSign. So no surprise there. And Dow. It's got nothing. All right, so other than that, since there's nothing really big expected federally, I'm not really going to go through that. Beside him speaking. Let's see. Why? So most likely it was May, September. Here it is. Labor Day. So of course we got holiday. Holy crap. Bed Bath & Beyond CFO falls to his death from New York's Jenga Tower. Wow. Blocks on the former key forms of immediate threat to human life. That's why better price hike is expected, but will there be more thing? Okay, so the West Side money will maybe resets it, and it's just about the stretch of the year. So things are just not looking good. And the monthly close is going to reflect this when we go look at the charts. The monthlies are beautiful. So, I mean, I'm just looking for continued sales. We'll see how this plays out. So DXY, we saw another big bullish push last week. Continuing its bullish move, we broke this high back in June. So now we're leaving this nice imbalance here on the monthly. I'd like to see some type of 50% retracement if we're going to continue forward to the upside. We're just going to get a big sell. And we can see the nice retracement here will be nice, but it's not necessary. So we've already got this wick retracement here on the weekly to this fair value, which is probably also going to cover the retracement for the 50%. That's basically what fair value is the retracements of the 50% of the bullish candle, because those are momentum candles. When you have those strong moves, just like we have here, okay, then you're going to expect that retracement to come from the next candle. We can see that happen there. You can see that happen there. So is it necessary for us to come back on the monthly and fill that? I mean, it didn't leave a fair value, so not necessarily. Maybe here, but let's see down to the daily. What do we have going on? I did originally have this showing a divergence, but it wasn't strong enough in comparison to what was happening in the bullish structure. So we can see bam and bam. And then from there, that followed through with a nice engulfing pattern, followed by another bullish candle. So whenever you're having an engulfing of any side form up, you might see it on the red side. So you'll see right here, we have a bearish engulfing on this side, followed with a bear candle. And you can see the market sell off from there into the position of the divergence, and then vice versa to go the other way. So if we can primarily get a retracement of this candle at all, then we would see some type of move to the downside and then up. Otherwise, you'll just see us continue to push forward, and it will give you a minor retracement. And that would just be to our previous resistance level. Here, we got mini wicks to the bottom side here before breaking, and then we'll just see the retest of 50% of this wick and then continue forward. So with that being the case, we got a couple of options to look at here. Let's go look at US 30. For those of you that are not trading US 30, go ahead and take a look at SPX 500. It'll probably just be set up the same. I don't got free reign to move up. Sorry, the video was blocking me. So let's hit the monthly on US 30. I'm gonna clear all drawings. All right. So we had to pull back to COVID high. Which was nice, but the monthly has now failed to go back topside and close right below our area here. After giving us, which I'm sure in the bottom times, we'll see a double top with these wicks here. But ultimately, with a nice monthly inside bar close, failing to break above the high, we're closing below. We've got a wick, 50% probably retracement of this previous candle. And this isn't a momentum candle, but why this is important to me is because there could be structure that is either needs to be tested up in this area, not be done yet. We can see even on the bottom side, we have wicks here. So I want to keep a track of that. let's get rid of these zones or that zone specifically. I'm going to set a horizontal line on our 50% retracement of the monthly candle. And I'm going to set a horizontal line on these wicks. This is what's important to me now, looking left, if I'm looking for a trade this week. So what's beautiful to see here, we've got this nice weekly evening star. Go through your candlestick patterns, your JCP app. If you have not already, you'll learn about your patterns there. Follow that, just like DXY, with a nice bear candle. So that's going to intensify our bearish sentiment, looking for those sales, which is also going to push me to believe the DXY is going to be moving forward to the upside. Now, we can see at this 50% level we have marked from the monthly, there is an imbalance here on our weekly candle. This small fill isn't enough for me, technically. I would like to see that filled. If not now, it could happen once the market decides to come back to the upside. Okay, cool. Sorry about that, y'all. So with that being said, we have the double top, which is really nice to have. We do have this resistance level. So if I'm going to eyeball areas for the market to reverse, if I get some type of retracement, it's going to be one of these two areas. Okay, if I'm going to find an entry, don't get it twisted. As we get deeper and I dive down into the smaller time frames, we may see there may be a better opening a little more sooner. But from this position, these are areas that like to be filled before further market progression happens. Especially if I'm going to catch me a sell entry that I'm not going to have to worry about. All right. So from the daily time frame, let's go to a line chart and see. This is a nice, simple head and shoulders pattern. And taking that into account, because I want to see the neckline retest as well. That's another reason we want to hold off early in the week. We want to get some type of bullish move so that we can get a proper entry. Now, what I'm going to do here, let me clear my fib just so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So I've got this first move to the downside, minor retracement pullback here. Let's look at that on the candlestick side. We can see it reached up to that 50% retracement. The line chart isn't going to show you that, okay? But it does show us a very clear sight of where our left shoulder is. But we do have the touch that we entered last week. So now I got this new sell move. That's what's important to me. This is a completion. Any retracement that comes back into your 50, your 618, your 786, those are completed pullbacks. Market has no reason to really come back up to that area in my eyes. So therefore, I'm going to come for the next move. So from my right shoulder down, look how that lines up. 50% retracement with that resistance level we have marked. Is it necessary to come to 618? Not really. I mean, this retracement here to that fair value level could be enough. If not, we're going to find out early in the week, off rip in the next day or two, if we get this nice bullish move. So then we can catch an entry from that position. So now this is my main target. Let's fill it with down. And I like to typically have either one of two targets. In this case, I've got one. I mean, I'm not really, if it does, I mean, it's not like, it's not possible, but primarily this is going to be my position. I'm going to look to sell the market from that position, especially when it comes time for Powell or midweek. We'll know a reversal is setting up. And I want to come back to 1 or 2 levels. And that's going to be looking left. On the left side, we see this area was not respected on this side of the market. So that's going to be my first level of take profit. My second will be down here, back to the COVID high. And if it goes further than that, it goes further than that. You know, it's fantastic. I'm already in the trade. And at those positions is where I'll be taking partials. So there would be take profit 1, and here would be 2. All right, very simple. I've got my stop loss set up. Will my stop loss really be that high? No, 9 times out of 10. If I see it come through this level and break more than I want to, then close. Wait for your candles to close. Hour closes, 30-minute closes. Those types of closes above this area and it doesn't close back below will signal that it still might move up to the other intended target, which is less likely, but not possible. So I'm going to look for that trade to get closed out, and then I may be getting in back at the 786. If that's the case, I'm protecting my account. If you're an over leverager, this does help you. If you aren't, you can just hold your trade through the stop loss properly and do so. But I like to keep my losses small. You know, I'm not in the position to be giving more money to the market than I want to keep. So if I take a $100 loss to take a new trade here, to gain that 100 back and then some, making up the loss within the stop loss, then my gains are more than allowing myself to take that big of a hit. NAS 100, we're going to claim that same scenario. Same scenario, we have the beautiful head and shoulders pattern. We want a neckline retest of some kind, looking for those structure points. So boom, we can see here the market landed. Let's grab our horizontal line again. The market is showing support at this level here, and it's no problem taking a circle and marking that off. Right? And then when it came back under, it checked it again here. Beautiful, right at the neckline. Now I know my intended target for a sell entry for this week. Now, here we go. We're looking for what targets are we going to hit? Can we meet this shoulder here? Can we meet this level here? Now, the difference that we want to stay aware of is if the market comes out of this down first, then I may partially consider if it's going to reverse. We'll know by the DXY beforehand if that's something like that is to occur. But we've got to remember the top side of our time frames. The weekly is showing evening star with a nice big bearish move right after that closed on the weekly. I'm continuing my bear ideology. So I'm going to take that neckline entry from that head and shoulders pattern. I'm going to do the same thing on SPX. No different. And look for those reversal areas, which we see here. Bring that all the way across. Now we have an idea where the market can reverse to continue our sells. All right, not that difficult. Ethereum, we can see the same thing. I'm eyeballing Ethereum hard for another sell from its current location, just from sitting where we are. If it doesn't close, as we can see, it's maintained through the entire weekend, throwing wicks, closing below this level. It's obviously very important. One or two things, you're going to get a break above and up, or it's going to stay below, continue down. Not hard, not hard. Gold, I'll leave for you, Tay. Forex, GA. I'm sure a few people are going to want to know what's going on here. All right, I'm worried about what's going to be happening. We've got a nice monthly close, all bearish. We are looking at some important areas of resistance here. So I can tell from these wicks, if I'm going to look at targets for these cells, I'm looking at areas where the market decided to stop and close back up. So if this is the monthly, that means these closes up are reversals. Okay, here as well, we've seen the market reverse from this area 3 times. Weekly. A very obvious bearish flag. Bam, bam. Closed out, gave you the retest off the flag, then continued to drop. Now, some people do consider this an evening star. These 3 candles formation here. We see the inside bar following the nice bear candle. If we're going to get a reversal out of here, I'd like to see us drop down and meet that support and then continue into the upside. GJ has been in this thing for a minute. I'm not even like messing with it. Caught a couple good trades off of it, but let's see where it's at from our last drawing. Came out, broke that channel. Retested a nice strong resistance level we had marked up here. As we can see, the market hit, reversed, hit, reverse, came back through, reverse drop, up, played on the top side, break back below, came back in, touched back the top side, fell off the mat, and then came back in again. So this is all in consolidation. Okay, we're holding. I'm gonna clear my last just so I can have a fresh view, and we're gonna take a look at the consolidation area. And you can just encapsulate that whole thing. So let's not make this difficult. Breakdown, retest, continuation. We're looking at the DXY, the dollar. GJ is typically going to go opposite of the dollar and follow in trend with the indexes like I showed you. So with us expecting that sell, we can already see if it breaks the neckline of this double top, let's go ahead and mark that now. Double top, bam, bam. Once that's done, we want a neckline retest and a drop. If it gets a little funky, we'll see it break the other side and we'll go bullish. But I'm not here to tell the market what to do. Just following along. GU, real quick. GU's falling off the mat. We got it open to the downside. Okay. Already. Here's our first resistance, obviously. And I mean, our support, sorry. And here's our resistance. You want as many wick touches as you can get when you're lining this up. Okay. Now it's going off the gate from the fair value. Let's see how the monthly lines up. Our previous monthly candle. We got time, fresh 30 days, so it's not like it can't decide to come back, retrace up to this resistance area that we have here, and then continue to the drop. Because maybe it won't break this wick immediately. Maybe it will retrace up real quick before it's comfortable, and it's not like that can't happen. So be careful, keep an eye out for that. Let's go to the weekly. All right, as we can see at that fair value, there's also everything else we've aligned, the resistance, our Fibonacci levels, the fair value gap, the imbalance happening there. We have another one here, just on this immediate candle for the weekly. Come through, measure that. As you go to the lower time frames, you'll get to see what's happening at those areas. See, there's no structure to the left for me to go off of. Let's see, let me see. We'll check this area. We'll check this area. Yeah, I'm not going to count that at all. So therefore, this entire area in between here, anything is possible. It can build any type of structure at this point if it wants to, or 9 times out of 10, it'll just come back and meet a previous. But we'll find out. If it hits this low, we'll find out what happens. If it makes a pattern to come back up, we'll see it in advance. Tay, I'll let you hit off UJ. Was expecting a drop, but it did something else. And that's about all I'm looking at. Tay, the floor is yours. Make sure I open up the sharing. Do you think?
Can you see the screen? I'm assuming so we'll go on it. So I've been looking at US, was it UJ for a couple weeks now. We wanted to come down. It got to a level, a pretty strong level of structure, but it kind of came right through it. So this will be marked up maybe a couple weeks ago that we thought was gonna come back to this level here, hit this top and then bounce off of here. See that it blew through here, but it's starting to slow down. So it might have just been a temporary hit. We're not gonna take this sell yet, but I'm still looking, or we look after 4 hours, look at it on a daily, like what I usually look at. And you see the last thing it threw was that doji, or this level, or this candle that's showing that it's reversal. So we got a reversal candle showing on the 2nd, which is on that Friday. We're now on Sunday, so I'm assuming this week, I'm gonna say this week is gonna come down. That's why I had marked up originally when it came to this level, just because I blew past it with one candle doesn't mean that this sell us off. As you can see, sometimes it just likes to come through it and harass me sometimes. So let's look through it, some history. Let's see how if there's anything else at this level. In previous time, we see that they've been here before here, here, here. So this is the reason why we took this sell. That's why we marked the sell up, was because on a daily, it's been here a couple of times. 87, 1987. It was here again in 91. It was here again in 98, but it blew through. And then now we're back to this level again in 2022. So this is not a bad level to be at. When it comes through, it usually gives us those reversals off of it. Like this right here, it blew through like we talked about, came through, reversed out of here, gave you railroad basically to here, and then dropped off the face. So last time I was here in 98, it did that. So all we're looking at is history and showing that it's going to do it again. So boom, we're here again. The candle we're looking at right now is going to be this blow through. I just think it's going to come down here and come out of here. So I'm still looking at a sell. This is the market that we had marked up beforehand. And then, like I said, usually on Sundays, I do recaps. So everything that we saw last week, we said that this is going to come up here and touch this. It did last week. And now we're saying it's going to come reverse out of here. So this is what we plan on taking this week, is this trade. So when you see it, when we call it out, I guess whenever we go live there at the week, I'll tell you probably when I'm probably gonna sell it, but it's to be a sell off here. Let's look at something else. Can anybody hear a baby crying in the background? All right, cool. My daughter's like screaming right now, screaming her head off. So like I said, we have a lot of things that we're looking at. So gold, I've been having sell off. The one thing about gold, it's been at this level 4 times already. So like once again, here, this is on a weekly. Let's look at it on a daily. Here's been here. Basically, every time I've been eating off of this pair, it's been here. So it was here this time too. Here, 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 and now it's back down here again. So the question that we always ask ourselves is like, how many times is the level gonna be strong before it blows through here? So that's the good question that we're looking at right now. Is this pair going? Is it gonna hold up here again? So I've had to sell off from the 15th August. We've been selling this off. I got you for the retrace here for your lower high. And I guess this is assuming another lower high now once it comes up a little bit more. So we'll have another lower high here and it'll come up. And I'm assuming it's gonna come back down again and finish off this to this level. Because it loves coming back here. It's like a magnet. So I don't want to say this is, we should still be in a sell anyway. So if you're in a sell already, then keep it. If you try to get into a sell now from here, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not a bad idea. I mean, it is a bad idea to try to sell this right now because it's in a point where it doesn't know what it wants to do yet. Well, we don't know what it wants to do. We only take trades at levels of structure. Well, I do. So if it came down to here and touched this, I would have took the sell. This I probably would have sold off because it was next to another line. All these orange lines are level of structures I've had at some point on a high time frame. So all orange ones are high time frames, all green ones are on the lower time frames, or there are the part of that fib that I have built in. So this is it come all the way down here. It touches this big blue line, which is the strongest point that we showed up over the other map, and then they come down here. So I'm assuming it's still gonna come down here and touch it and come back up. But if you're how much? Let's see how much we made off of this already. It was like we're up a bunch right now. 114. So if you would have took this sale, you've been up a bunch right now. We're if you want to get out of it, you can. There's no reason to hold this trade for any much longer because we're close to a level of like indecisiveness where it's trying to decide if it's going up or is it come back down to the level of structure and blow through here. We could look at a higher time frame to see what's going on here. So we look at it on a monthly. Since we got 24 more days, the last candle we had on last month didn't give any wicks. It just came to a level just really strong. So it's probably gonna keep selling. On a weekly, pretty strong sell candle. Nothing that tells me that's about to reverse or anything like that. And that's we got the beginning of the week. So like I said, it's a good sell if we are still in the sell, but I would probably just hold off on trying to get into this trade right now until it gets to a nice little level of structure. I hate the hour. Let's look at 500. I think Zay was talking about this one already. Once again, we were in a sell. Some people might be new in here. I think Ray is pretty new. I haven't know him. Everybody else in here I've seen before. Well, Byron I haven't seen in a while. But all of these things that you're showing here is stuff that we were already in and we marked up for a while ago. So SPF 500, we call this at a channel. The sell, same thing again. We're at a sell for this one. If you missed this sell, you could have got into it here when it pulled back. And now it's down here at a level of structure. I think you were talking about reversing, Zay.
Yeah, possibly to make the neckline fill on that head and shoulders pattern and then dropping again. I'm pretty bearish on indexes right now, and the state of the country is kind of fucked up in the world.
I'm not saying that I'm not telling this is going to be a sell because it's forming right now another level for this channel, for this flag that is forming. Same thing I saw earlier off of US 30. So US 30 was doing the same thing. It came down here to this level here, and it was sitting in reverse off of here. So like I said, I assume that it's about to make this move up here again. So
yeah,
I don't know
if
what
it keeps the inverted, we'll definitely see.
I don't
that.
know what news that you're about to see here, but it's about to play this little game here for a minute in this little area, and it's going to reverse out of here. So whatever way it gives you, this is what it's going to play. Because right now it's just staying in these channels or this flag that is forming, which is mighty fine for us. We just try to get paid off of here. But this is a sale that we should have been in already. So let's go back to, like I said, so you were in the sale, came to this level, time to get out. Yeah, it's time to get out. If you're in the sale. If you're trying to buy it, I wouldn't recommend it because of how the market, the world's going right now and where it's at right now.
The weekly candles, either weekly or monthly candles, are all bearish signs.
Yeah, this one is pretty strong. This was all strong, these last three.
Yeah.
So it could blow right through here. That's what I'm looking for though. But if it blows to this level here, that's when we take it. So boom, it blows to this level. We come back for the retrace and we continue selling it off. But we've already made up money. We're not trying to be greedy here, like to the point where like we're gonna blow our accounts here. So if it blows through here, yay, you know, we made money. But if it doesn't, then we just gonna be out of money when it reverses out of here.
Yeah, your cleanest sell opportunity for me, if I'm gonna sell it, I want this retest on the neckline of the head and shoulders and then to drop. Otherwise, you know, we'll see it continue to the upside.
Yeah, you're saying go to the neckline. I'm just gonna say this gonna probably pretend to continue this flag area that it's doing. So two different things. We have two different ways that we see things on the market, which is perfectly fine. But I have a feeling that it's gonna play this little game here for a minute, like it's been doing. It then continue to drop down. So that's the thing I'll leave on this mark until I look at it. I'll probably look at it again probably tomorrow and I'll probably see something totally different since this is Monday. So this next candle gonna give me exactly what I want to look for. If this candle rolls through the bottom of this, then all right, then we've already made our decision what's gonna happen. But if it continues to go up and comes up out of here, then because look at that hammer that threw and then it still threw this flat. I mean, it still came down here. So it didn't even give a reversal for it. And that's on the daily. So like I said, we'll see how this plays out. This is if you're in a sell, hope you have something in profits. If you're in a buy, I would recommend it. Wait for it to tell you something that was gonna happen. This market's not in the position to tell you anything right now. What's some other things we looked at? This still playing around this channel. I still have this on a buy for NJ. I had this on a buy from here. This what this white line is actually a pointer to go up to here. So I had this in a consolidation to come up. It's giving me everything I need to for to say it's going to do that. So we'll continue to watch it. Should be still in this buy. I'll look into this later this week and see if I'm going to get out of it or something, but we should still be in this buy from this level. Oh, actually, yeah, because we came down to this level. So from here, I'm not looking at XRP, GN still asking for this sell, even though it came late for us because we should have got blown out here. We took it again when they retraced here. Still gonna give us that sell to go way down to here, which is the flag they gave last week. So it gave it a big push last week, flew to this level that it had, and now it's gonna come down to here, which is gonna be perfectly fine. I think I like all these. I like all these setups that are happening. A lot of things I'm already in are already happened, so we just wait for the final move to happen. And since I trade on a entire high frame, a lot of these moves take over a couple of days to move, so it's not gonna be anything that's gonna happen real quick. Euro USD, like we called before, it's at a level of structure right now since it's been here since the 22nd. It's also at a new all-time low, which means that it's got to reverse out of here eventually. We're just trying to find out when. So if you would have got all the way down right now, would be like, what are you risking right now? Like, honestly, 24 pips, 20 pips. If it blows to this level, then you just kind of get out of it. But then we talk about market makers again. So the market maker might just come through here, throw a wick to get you out of here, and then come right up, which is what they usually do. So be mindful of that. I'm surprised they didn't do it last week when we had like NFP stuff or all those big movements. You said there's no flags for Euro this week?
Because everything's still dying.
Yeah, so
not good right now.
This is less than $1 right now. It's at 0.99208. So it's less than $1, so it's worthless. But like I said, I expect this thing to come back up. It's got to come up.
I mean, yeah, eventually I think they will. I know there's conversation about things usually turn around after the market that we've dealt with come November or the end of the mid through the fourth quarter of your second year of dealing with something like, say, COVID or 08 or anything that's happened in history. This is about the time we'll see a reversal come the end of this year. But in the meantime, I mean, everything's just selling the hell off hard.
Yeah. So, but this is like I said, this is
all
all
down
time
here,
low.
though. We're getting wicks to the downside.
Yeah, all of it's wicking real heavy. Everything's slowing down. Like this thing, and it's at an all time. I don't think anybody wants this to go below what it needs to get to, because then we're talking about different things. So, like I said, I've been on a buy for this for a while. As you can see, I've been trying to buy this thing up for a minute because it can't go any lower. Like I don't want it to go any lower. We got to deal with other issues.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. Yeah, look at this fucking candle. It's gonna. We got 25 more days. It's gonna fucking give a wick or something. It's gonna give a doji or some shit to back up to 1004. I get almost guarantee it. Almost guarantee, and I'm gonna go no swing. What else we looking at? We talked about that one, and GA is my thing. That the only bad trade I had last week was GA, which it's still gonna reverse out of here because it's giving the candle patterns we need now. This thing is getting on my nerves. I'm leaving this. I always leave my stuff on here so I can just see what I messed up with in the past. But we'll probably shorten this down a little bit so I can not take up too much of my space. There we go. So it looked the same. Because you know, you got to see your failures, because we had to come into the neckline here to reverse out of here to go down. That's what we wanted to happen, but it said no thanks, and it just fell, which is what we initially saw anyway, was the fall, but we wanted to get the retrace to the fall. So we were trying to be greedy too. We were trying to buy it up for the sale, which you should never do. But you know, we play dangerous games, win and lose dangerous prizes. Because Because if you see it on a higher time frame, it's giving you everything you need to for a sell. Trend line, we're gonna draw this trend line. What you draw from here? Strong ass wicks. Everything's coming down. Last time, so you got a lower high, lower. Everything's giving a lower highs. We wanted another lower high here so we can sell it, but it just keeps dropping. So eventually it's gonna, this is a level of structure again, like I told you, that we have here, that we had it coming down to for the sell. So now we'll watch it come down to here and it'll probably buy up to here again and then fall, which is exactly what we saw before, but it don't care. And it's all the things that we saw play out last week. Some other things I had marked up was Amazon. Amazon finally came back to that level I had marked because I'm great. So Amazon came back down to this 128, like we saw it's going to do, but it needs to come back up now because we had to come up to 154. I mean 151, and then dropping at that level. And then we had Tesla also. I think we had Tesla marked up. Let's look. Apparently not. Okay. I'm pretty sure I did, but we'll look at it later. Oh, and one more thing. We got a German 30, which is still playing out. So we are in a sell for German 30. We call this channel movement. And we're in green right now. So we're just a way to finish pulling out this channel. If it gets to the bottom of this channel before it gets to that before it gets to this green line, then we'll get out of it. So if it hits like right here on this channel and it's not at the bottom here, we'll just sell or we'll just get out of this trade. We should be enough profits to not care about it. But this channel has been really strong for German 30, so I'm not gonna play around with the channel. That's all I have.
Word. So pretty much this week, a lot of things are already in movement. If we're looking for entries, we're looking for retraces. Oh, something fell back there. We're looking for retraces, especially on indexes. Gold, looking from the higher time frame, looks very droppy. So just pay attention. Watch the double bottom, but also watch that neckline for the head and shoulders. You shouldn't really be taking too many trades. I mean, you just sit on your thumbs until we come into position and plan that out accordingly. Just looking at what we just charted over, I'm looking at about 4 indice trades I can take this week and a gold trade, and I'm going to be satisfied with my week. So I suggest you guys take along the same things. Pay attention to the trade ideas. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. Make sure y'all hit up in the chat. Anything. If you're looking at charts and you want to drop some ideas that you have, feel free to drop them and we can discuss them if you got questions about them. Or if you're locked in and you've got an idea that you're going to try out this week, come Friday morning, we're going to hop on and review how these trades went. And it should be a pretty nice week. We're done with NFP. Let's see if we can have a nice smooth one and come out on the positive side by Friday. Anything else? Anybody have any questions at all before we close out? No? All right, see y'all tomorrow. I will be up. Me and Felicia will be doing all of our regular fitness stuff. So those recordings will be dropped and you can join us as well in the morning. Also tomorrow night, 8 p.m. I'll see you for chart sessions. That's all I got. I'll let y'all later.
Mark up a chart too tonight. Mark up a chart tonight so we can look at some stuff.
Definitely.
Some homework. So if you don't have anything, you're trying to figure something out, mark up a chart so we can talk about it tomorrow.
Yep. If you need help marking up a chart, it's been a while, or you've got too much stuff you're looking at and you want to simplify it, hit us up. Hit us up, let us know. We'll sit down with you, we'll schedule time, and we'll mark up a chart together, and then you can see how it plays out through the week so you get used to it, get comfortable. But mark up a chart and drop it. Drop it in the Discord. Ask questions. If you're going to learn and master this thing, it's on you. Nobody else can make you learn it. We wanted to learn it, so we put in the time it took, whatever was asked of us until we learned it. Same thing's going to be required of y'all. And then you develop your own plan. So keep it simple. All right. See y'all tomorrow, man.
Later.